Hello and welcome back to my channel. I apologize for the sort of awkward shot and for the fact that I can't use my ring light, but I wanted to make sure that you could actually see the terrarium behind me, and with the light on, you couldn't. Because what is in this terrarium is my new son. He's actually too young for me to be able to super figure out the gender at this point, but I call him a he and I've named him Roger. And Roger is my new baby, my crested gecko. I have never owned a reptile before in my life. My family has never owned reptiles. We have had many cats throughout my life, and we have 2 dogs right now, but Roger is the first reptile in this house. A lot of people have really random deep-seated fears about reptiles. I've never had that. I have it about bugs, which we will talk about more in this video, but I've never had that with reptiles. I've always loved snakes. I've always loved lizards and all of that sort of thing, and how this started was I've always wanted a bearded dragon because they're so cute, they're just so chill, they just hang out with you. And then, as you know, my sister and I volunteer at the Humane Society, and they recently got 2 bearded dragons there. And I really wanted to adopt one of them. I really wanted one of these bearded dragons. To the extent that I would look at it and then I'd be like, no, I want to adopt it. I don't have anywhere to put it. And then I would come home and I would go through Kijiji, which is the Canadian Craigslist, I guess. And going through it, looking at reptiles, but it was only ever really big snakes that were on Craigslist, or really old bearded dragons. But I wasn't worried. There was no rescue situation that was going on. A lot of them were we're rehoming our bearded dragon, take the tank, take everything with it. So I was going through it, and I didn't ever really see anything jump out at me. And then there's a pet store here that is obviously part of a chain, and the chain is Petland. But this one is different. I want you to know right now that this isn't going to the way people talk about chain stores. This one is not like that. This one is very locally owned, very it's very chill. It feels very ma and pa in there, and I've been going to that one since I was a kid, and I love it there. My sisters and I went there. Hey Sam.
Just kidding. Hi.
Where are we right now?
Hey, I'm also here. We're at Petland.
And I was looking at all the little animals they had. And I asked about bearded dragons because they did have some babies there, and the employee there, his name was Sam. I'm shouting him out because he was, and continues to be, one of the most amazing employees I've ever met anywhere, and so chill, so amazing on the customer service. We'll talk about that more in a sec as well. But I go in there and he, shows me the ideal size for a bearded dragon tank and terrarium and that sort of thing. And I had already done my own sort of research, so I already kind of knew that I didn't have space for a bearded dragon terrarium, but talking to him really solidified that I didn't have the space. But then I was like, well, I could get something else, and he suggested Crested Geckos because they had the starter kit there at the time as well. And then the more I thought about it, the more I really wanted one because I think they're so cute. They look like little dinosaurs or little alligators or something, and so I really wanted one. So he hooked me up with a baby that they had there and the starter kit. Now, I do like the starter kit. It's by ZoomEd. Sort of in the reptile world, there's 2 big brands of reptile things. It's ZoomEd and it's Exoterra. And the startup kit was by ZoomEd, and I asked him kind of if it had everything, and he said it did. I kind of disagree with that a little bit because it came with terrestrial bowls like this for food and water. I still have one in there just because I think it looks nice, but crested geckos like to climb, so I really don't think their food should be on the ground. So I had to buy a new food and water bowl the next day, and I don't think it came with enough foliage. It came with one singular plant, actually the one that he's in right now, which is right up here, and a stick in the back, and that was it. I wanted way more plants than that. And it also comes with this loose dirt-like substrate, which I know from my the research that I've done is not ideal for crested geckos because they could eat it by accident. So I'm thinking at some point when I do an overhaul of his terrarium, I'm gonna take all the substrate out until he's older and put in eco carpet or paper towel or anything like that, something that's easier to clean up, and he's less likely to eat it by accident because I don't want him to get compacted. So I get the gecko, I bring it here, he's so cute. I go to a different pet store the next day and I buy a whole bunch of foliage. I actually bought this as well. This is an Exoterra plant. I just haven't figured out where to put it in there yet. I have an extra one. We don't really purify our water here. I just drink tap water because, our filters here are pretty great, but you still have to make sure that you get rid of any chlorine or anything in the water, so I bought this bottle of ReptiSafe right away. You add this to the water, it makes it reptile safe. This is the food that the kit came with. This is the ZoomEd just crested gecko food. I know that Pangea is a popular brand on the interwebs, so eventually I'm going to buy that as well. One of the things that I really loved about Sam, the employee at this Petland, is that if they had something there that I was going to buy, because I know you need it, but he knew that you could get it cheaper somewhere else, he would just like tell me not to buy it and to get it somewhere else. So this is just a plant mister, but it's what you use to mist them because they need high humidity. And so the misters at this Petland were like $20, but then he was like, you could just go to Walmart and get one for $3, which I didn't even know. That's what my sister Sam, oddly enough, did. She went out and bought it for me. This was her contribution to Roger, so thank you, Sam. It's actually funny because I went back to Petland a couple days ago because I'm really worried about the temperature and the humidity in there because I didn't get a thermometer or a hygrometer, so I had no way to check it. I was really worried, even though my bedroom is always 1,000 degrees, I was really worried it wasn't warm enough. Because crested geckos really need like a room temperature kind of environment, like a 60 to 80 degrees, and then like a 50% humidity, so I wasn't sure I was getting enough. So I went back there to buy a heat lamp, and he talked me out of it. He told me it was going to be a waste of my money because I have a crested gecko. Instead, he let me buy the ZoomEd thermometer and hygrometer, and he was like, and then if you decide you need a heat lamp after, come back here, I'll hook you up. He was right, so it's almost always consistently 75 degrees in the terrarium for some reason. I guess that's just how my room is, it keeps it 75 degrees. And then the humidity, I try to keep it around 60. Sometimes it ends up higher. I think it's because of the substrate at the bottom. I think it really helps hold the humidity in, so I'm hoping that once I switch that out, it'll help. The one thing that I really didn't want and that I was happy I bought a crested gecko for was because I didn't want bugs. I really don't like insects. There was a traumatic experience when I was like 2 years old. A grasshopper jumped on my face and I've never liked bugs ever since. Like when I was a kid, I used to call my dad into my room because I would think that there'd be like little holes in the paint in my room on my walls, and I would think it was a bug, and I would call him in at like 1 o'clock in the morning and be like, Dad, there's a bug, and he'd be like, Abigail, it's a chip in the paint, like, get over yourself. So that was something that I was really hoping to avoid because you can feed a crested gecko this like powdered food mixed with water, and it's great. But you really should be feeding your crested gecko insects every now and then, like maybe once a week. So I've bit my fear, and I purchased a cricket keeper. There's like 8 crickets in here right now, and essentially what happens, this one's leg is stuck, whatever. Essentially what happens is they're supposed to climb up into the tubes, and then I just take the tube out and then dust the cricket with the calcium powder, like in the tube, and then I can just kind of dump it in there and he'll eat them that way. That's the hope, at least. This is my cricket keeper. There's even like little food in here somewhere. There it is. Crickets, they gotta be like really full. They gotta be like, I think the term that YouTubers use is gut loaded. So I bought this food as well, this Fluker's food that's like orange, and it's supposed to have like everything they need in it to make them super healthy, so that'll help the gecko be super healthy. I even bought these little tongs so that if I have to touch them, I don't have to touch them with my hands because I can't do it. Sam at the Petland, he was like, oh, just pick them up with your hands. And I was like, you don't understand the level of, I can't do that, I can't do that. I cannot touch them with my hands, I can't do it. I'm hoping that by keeping crickets and having to look at them all the time like I'm doing right now, I will maybe get over my fear a little bit, because I do believe that when you have an irrational, stupid fear like my fear of bugs, like crickets can't possibly hurt you. I'm hoping by exposing myself to them so often, like maybe I'll become a little less of a baby. I tried to shoot, the first time I bought the crickets, I had a different container for them and it didn't have these tubes. And I wanted to shoot like a feeding my gecko crickets for the first time video, and it was a disaster. I couldn't do it. My younger sister, who is 5 years younger than me, had to come here and help me do it because I couldn't do it. I was too scared. Like, I just can't do it. Something about the jumping. I'm gonna pick up a cricket with my bare hands.
Why don't I just do it?
No, I have to learn how to be sufficient. Oh my god, I touched it in a cricket move.
Yeah, they do that. They're alive.
Shut up, okay? I'm gonna myself.
That's why I said I should do it.
No, you can't just offer to do things for me.
Yes, I can. That's literally the whole reason why Mom had 4 kids. What?
I saw a cricket move.
6.5 hours later.
Hey, bud. Can you move up at like a better angle, bud? I'll reach in there and grab you, but like, you're kind of at an awkward angle. He's probably gonna jump, so I'm gonna close this a little bit. Just don't scream if he does jump.
I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna get him back.
No, I've got your power.
Get some dirt in there, it's fine.
Are you ready?
No.
Hold on. Ready?
Yep. He's in there?
Yep. Close it. I'm a genius, I tell ya. Make sure he gets in the calcium. Are you making sure he's in it?
He's in the calcium, believe me.
Then you're the one who knows things about reptiles. I just am a reptile. He's gonna go. He's going. Oh Lord, he's going. Nope, he running back.
Shrek, I'm looking down.
Are You're good enough to stick down.
I just don't want to get the soil in.
Why? Soiled it. There you go.
But I'm trying to get over it for the good of my crested gecko. And also because I just love animals and I want to help them. And so many animals eat bugs. Like, I just have to be braver, you know? And it's cool because a lot of the YouTubers that I've been watching that are reptile YouTubers feed their animals, whether it be whatever kind of lizard, roaches. And so I thought that was interesting. And then I noticed that one YouTuber that I was watching didn't feed her animal roaches. Her name is Emma Lynn Sampson. And I really like her channel, but I was kind of starting to wonder why she never fed her animals roaches. And then I saw it in a video. She mentioned it. Apparently it's illegal to keep tropical roaches in Canada. I had no idea. I didn't know that, so that's interesting. So all these other channels that I've been watching for information, which are all great, by the way, like Afro Herb Keeper, Go Herping, Snake Discovery, Quince Reptiles, all these channels are great, but they talk a lot about roaches, and I didn't know you couldn't keep them in Canada. That's so interesting. So I guess it's just crickets, and I really want to try mealworms. I've heard that they can be tough, like they have like a tough exoskeleton, so they might be a little bit harder, so I'm going to try smaller amounts of those with him and see if he'll eat them, but I feel like the worms don't freak me out as much as the crickets. I just don't like the jumping. I don't like it. I'm gonna do it. And yeah, that's basically the basics of my life with my little Crested Gecko Roger. I think one of my favorite things about having a gecko is that I can just sit here and stare at his terrarium for like ever and just watch him to see what he's doing, especially at night because he's more active then. I can just sit here and watch what he's doing. He's just like looking around and hanging out. Whereas my other animal, Lena, my cat, as you know, like she doesn't want me around her. Like she will leave. She will hiss at me. Like she doesn't want me around her. It's like, no, Mom, leave me alone. Whereas Roger doesn't have a choice. Because he is so young, I'm trying to keep handling him to a minimum, not to like freak him out. It depends on if you know a lot about reptiles or not. But crested geckos actually can drop their tail when they get like scared or nervous, but unlike other lizards, they can't grow them back. So if I wanted to keep his tail for as long as possible, I gotta like not freak him out. So I do like make sure that every day I come in contact with him in some way. Like I open the thing, I try to get him to crawl on my hand, which he has done a couple of times now. But I try to not freak him out. I just want him to be like really used to being handled, so that when he's older, he's like I can take him out. Well, I'm not holding him right now because he's so young, and I don't trust him not to jump all over the place. And yeah, pretty much that's everything I wanted to say in this video about my new pet Roger. Like I said at the beginning, I'm like extremely beginner novice at owning reptiles. If anyone has any ideas or recommendations or things that I should be doing, or things that I shouldn't be doing, or anything of that sort, please let me know in the comments below because I am open to suggestions 100%. I know that one of the main ones is going to be getting rid of the soil substrate. That's what it came with, so that's what I use, and now I know that that's not really the best. Although someday I would like to turn his enclosure from like mainly plastic plants to like a bioactive enclosure where I've got the hydroballs on the bottom and then it's real plants and I have to have a light. That would be ideal. I'm just not there yet. You know, I'm such a beginner that I want to start easy and then build up to a bioactive enclosure. So like I said, if you have any ideas or suggestions or you're a reptile person, please let me know in the comments below. If there's anything that you can think of that I should know, because I'm totally open to ideas and suggestions as long as you're nice and you're not being rude. That's one of the cool things I've noticed by lurking like the different reptile channels on YouTube. The reptile community seems very nice, and I find that scary. Most of the other fandoms and that sort of thing, YouTube communities and internet communities in general that I find are usually very toxic and very scary. So when I find one that's like nice, I find it suspicious, but so far I like this one and I want to be part of it. Also, if you're a regular watcher of my channel and you would like to see more videos of Roger, let me know, because I will love to make more videos of him, especially as he's growing. I sort of end up taking pictures of him and catching video of him almost every day, so it'll be nice to like watch his progression as he grows older. And finally, if you're wondering how him and Lena get along, Lena has not even noticed that the terrarium is here. She does not care. Some cats are going to be really interested in these sorts of things and they're going to want to get inside. Now Lena, she does not care. I could probably put Roger down on the floor beside her and she would not notice and she would not care because she's just not that kind of cat. Anyway, this time I'm going to sign off for real. I've started this sentence 1,000 times, but this time, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Bye!